Instead of negative Nancy, become emotionally fancy, especially for the holidays. How a lack of emotional intelligence adds negativity to the holiday season. The holidays are here, and this time of year is filled with emotions, good emotions, bad emotions, and emotions that we may not have identified already. No matter how you celebrate, not everyone is filled with cheer during this holiday season. We all know a negative person that never has anything good to say about anyone. This person is quick to judge. They judge others, but they show no empowerment in their own life. I know you know someone like that. They are just letting life happen to them, but somehow they have all the answers to everyone else's problems. Today, we're talking about how the power of positivity can elevate your life, especially for the holidays. This is a sophisticated trait that stems directly from emotional intelligence. Having a positive outlook is a valuable trait, not just during the holidays, but every day. Positivity and sophisticated empowerment is valuable for a lifetime. So, if you know a negative Nancy, or if deep down inside that you think that you could be one, I'm going to share 3 ideas that will take you from a negative fixed mindset to a hopeful and positive thinker capable of becoming the person that operates as an emotionally empowered individual 365 days a year. Welcome back to Brains and Baubles Live. I'm davinadandrige. Today, we uncover the transformative influence of positive thinking. The greatest discovery of all time is that a person can change his future by merely changing his attitude. That's a quote from Oprah Winfrey, and it's absolutely correct. Your future is based on your attitude, not necessarily based on all the tasks you do, not necessarily just doing things for other people. I mean, yeah, all of that has something to do with it. But most of all, it's about your mindset. If you're always negative, if everything around you, everything that you consume is negative, then you are what we call a person that has a fixed mindset versus a person who has a growth mindset. Okay. So a fixed mindset, you focus on the negative things. I mean, that's what fuels your blood. You don't even see a future of hope, a future where things are positive, where you don't see right now where relationships with another person can be positive without it them wanting something from you. You don't see a future without struggle, without being stuck. You don't see a future that doesn't have negative energy. And you're fixed in the way that you think right now. Where a person with a growth mindset has hope. They have hope for the future, a beautiful future, and they take steps to make sure that that happens. And that's by looking introspectively at who they are and how they contribute to the situation that they're in, whether they operate with positivity or negativity, whether they're a person who has optimism or whether they're a person who only sees the bad in situations. You have the autonomy and the ability to change from being negative to be positive by operating with a growth mindset. Positive thinking transcends mere mindset, though. It's about a lifestyle. You not only think this way, but you start operating in a way that is positive, that shows up positive for other people. When we direct our focus towards positive aspects of life, we magnetize more positivity, therefore propelling us closer to the things that we want in life, to the environment that we want, surrounded by the people who will bring joy into our lives. So, cultivating a positive mindset is the key to both success and happiness. You know, I can't tell you how valuable it is for you to recognize the emotions and how they trigger you. Because right now, if you're a negative person, or if you know someone who is negative, you can identify certain things in their life that resonates with negativity. And what you have to do as a person who exudes negativity is to find out what's triggering it. What happens in your life where you feel the most negative, where you express your most negativity? What emotion are you feeling? And what circumstance caused you to have that emotion? That's what self awareness is. So when you start practicing self-awareness, and that can happen all during the times of the day. It can happen while you're at work, while you're with your kids, while you're with your mate, while you're out in the community, where you feel an emotion that isn't positive, recognize what that is so that you can make a plan to overcome it. And there are principles that go along with positive thinking that you could focus on. You focus on the good in things. Where there's something negative, there's something good that can come out of it. It's all in your perspective. And then be grateful for the things that you have, where you are in your life, those things that have brought positivity into your life. And then look through the lens of optimism. Be optimistic about what your future holds. And then forgive yourself. You have to forgive yourself for where you are right now if you're not happy about it. And that means looking back at the thing that you might have done, some thing that you weren't thinking right, or you just succumbed to peer pressure, or you just were in a mind state where you thought certain behaviors were acceptable. Forgive yourself for that because there was good, there was learning, there was wisdom that came out of that situation. Forgive other people too, because forgiving other people is for your benefit. Someone does something to you that you can't control what they did, you can't reverse time. What you can do is forgive them and then move forward. And it might not be just that simple in every situation. You might have to get therapy, or you might have to do some other strategic things to get you in a place where you can forgive them and move on. But the one thing that you shouldn't do is just wait around for closure, because that might not happen. And if you're waiting on closure before you can forgive somebody, then you are holding yourself back. And then that's the other thing. Just let go of negativity. If you have a negative thought that comes across your mind, don't say it out loud for sure. And then find another thought that's positive that can replace it. I go for Bible scriptures. If I get a negative thought over and over again, listen, there's a scripture for that. And I choose that scripture, and that's what I resonate on. And then surround yourself with positive people. You know, your emotions impact your thinking, and your thinking impacts your behavior, and your behavior is what draws certain people to you. So if you want positivity in your life, you better learn how to connect with positive people. And you can do that by joining Facebook groups, by getting yourself involved in things that are going to make positive outcomes for you in the future. And you will meet people who are doing the same things. And that's what you need to do. So let's jump right in. The first tip for you to do is to start with gratitude. That's right. Being thankful for where you are, what you have, what you know, is the ultimate gratitude. And it's not just enough for you to just say, okay, yeah, that was good, but really think about it, write it down, and make a practice of doing this on a daily. Write down the things that you are grateful for, even if they're just three, even if it's two or if it's one. To acknowledge things that you can be grateful for is so important for your future. And I have a journal sheet that you can download at my website, www.davinadandrige.com. And you can take advantage right now of starting this trek to becoming positive by writing down the things that you are grateful for. Did you know that gratitude is among the most potent emotions we experience? We feel so good when we can look back and be thankful for something that someone has done for us, or thankful for an outcome that was in our favor, or thankful for just the acknowledgement that we have a God who protects us and provides for us. It is so worth it for you to acknowledge that. So, by beginning your day with a few moments of gratitude, you set the tone for positivity, leading to heightened focus during your day, to vitality. You're emboldened, you have energy and motivation to conquer whatever's going to come to you that day. because we know we live in a life that has ups and downs, but you are able to face the challenges better when you start your day with gratitude. And when you look back after you had even a week of writing down the things you're grateful for, and don't think about 6 months or a year, you start seeing yourself in a different light. Your light, your life, that is no longer just negative outcomes, negative situations, and negative people. Once you look back at the things that you have written down that you're grateful for, you start feeling better. You start feeling better and more positive about where you are in your life now and what your future holds. So, gratitude leads to hopefulness, and hopefulness is what you need to find fulfillment in your life. Step two that you need to do: surround yourself with positivity. And your social circles impact your positivity. I mean, I just mentioned that. Our social circles wield substantial influence over our lives in many, many ways. To nurture a positive mindset, it's imperative to encircle yourself with positivity. So, the television shows that you watch, the music that you listen to, if you read books, the books that you read, but more importantly, the people that you engage with on a regular basis. What are they doing? What are they talking about? What type of lifestyle do they live? Are those the people who you want in your life in the future? Now, listen, I'm not talking about loyalty. We can scrap loyalty. Really, life is serious. Your future is serious. If you are loyal to someone just because you've known them for 20 years or just because they went with you through the trenches at some point, appreciate that time in your life, but that's not where you are now or not where you want to go. So you need to seek out those who lift you and inspire you, not ones who have just been around. Because if they're not going or focused on the same things that you're focused on, it doesn't matter. They're not going to be there for you anyway, not in the way that you need. You have to distance yourself from negativity. You have to. You can't expect to live a different life by living the same life that you're living. You're not, it's not possible for you to have a different life, a positive life with positive circumstances, surrounded by the things that you've always dreamed of, and you be the same person that you were then or that you are now. Remember, the company you keep shapes your worldview. Again, how you handle your emotions impacts your thinking, impacts your behavior, and sets up your environment. And your environment includes people. Your environment includes your situations. Your environment includes how you see your walls, your four walls every day. All of that is environment, and it's important that you navigate what that looks like, not what other people do, and not let loyalty be the basis for which you set up that environment. All right, so we got that under control. The next thing is you have to visualize success. You actually have to see yourself in the place that you've dreamed about being. So I don't mean just like, okay, one day I'm going to be this. We said that as a kid. One day I'm going to be a firefighter. One day I'm going to be on the moon. One day I'm going to be a doctor. But you know what? Other things got into your purview. You started seeing that you had to pay bills, or you saw other people working so hard and going to school or doing things and not living up to the expectation that everyone had for them. You saw circumstances come into your life that changed your view from what it is that you wanted, from what you had to do to survive or to cope or to provide. And I get that. I've taken some roads that I shouldn't have taken. And that's because I didn't have a clear vision for my future. I may have had ideas of what I wanted for my future, but I didn't visualize it. It wasn't until I started having a visual sense of what it would look like for me to work and teach people in a classroom, or for me to be an author, to have completed a book, Not just the thought of I want to write a book, but to see myself as having completed the book or having had a YouTube channel. I had to see myself from that lens in order for it to start coming to fruition. In order for me to start finding ways to make a plan to get there, I had to see myself there, not with just the thought. Visualization is a powerful mechanism to attract your objectives. So you have to dedicate a few minutes daily to envision yourself achieving your goals, not just saying that you want to have a goal. Close your eyes. What would it feel like for you to be in that managerial position that you've been vying for, that you've been working hard for? Not just the task that it's going to take to get there, but what is it going to feel like for you to be in that office, behind that desk, and really doing something meaningful that's using your real skills, not the skills that they just use you for to get to that point. But if you get that promotion that you've been vying for, what is it going to feel like when they recognize that all along you've been the person that could handle that project? You've been the person that they slept on, but you have to see yourself and feel the emotion. That's what visualization is. You embrace the emotion associated with success. Visualization fuels your drive, pushing you towards actions that manifest your dreams into reality. And it starts by creating a routine of gratitude, a routine of visualization. And that self awareness and contemplation allows you to even dig deeper into what that might look like. We can have an idea of what we want, what we think success is based on our environment. But suppose your environment changes to a more positive environment. What could you really want? What could you really visualize as your future? The daily routines of prayer, meditation, writing down, reading books, exercise, all of that is what's putting together positivity so that you can have right now an environment that's leading you toward the future that you want. All right, here are some additional things that you can do to cultivate a positive mindset. And, I talked about a routine, but people get caught up in doing what somebody else is doing or having a routine exactly like the person or the guru that they're following. Well, let me tell you, you can get ideas from people, but you have to ultimately do what works for you. And that's the name of my book, Brains and Baubles. Do what works for you, because there are things that other people do that will work for you, but you have to at least try them in order to find out what works, what you like, and what's going to be conducive to what your future looks like. Okay. So again, here are just a couple of more things that you can do to either add to your daily routine or incorporate throughout your lifestyle, a way of thinking to get to that growth mindset. So the first thing is working on you. So you have to practice self-care. And now your self-care might be different from my self-care. I will take hours on skincare. And I mean literally from top to bottom on skincare. When I'm done, I feel great. I invest in the tools or the products to do that, but I also invest in myself by taking the time to make that part of my lifestyle. Because in the future, I will pay somebody to do the same routine for me. Right now, I am visualizing myself being pampered on a regular basis at my home in an area designated specifically for my self care. All right. So, practicing self care for me looks that way. Practicing self care for you might be just taking a moment to read a book. It might be doing exercise that you really don't get to do because your life is so chaotic right now. You will develop a way to make time for those things that are going to benefit your future. And then you have to challenge those negative thoughts on a regular basis. Don't let your default thinking rule your life. challenge that negative thought. If you're afraid of something and you really don't know why you're afraid, and you just keep having these thoughts of failure, you need to replace that. When I have that, I said, the Lord didn't give me a spirit of fear, but of power and love and soundness of mind. And if I have to say that 3 times before that thought gets out of my head, that's what I'm going to do. I don't have to tell anybody. I just do it for me because this is helping me. It's helping me from thinking negative to thinking positive. Then be kind to yourself. Don't be so hard on yourself. Your timeline for what success looks like is your timeline. If you're not where you thought you were supposed to be, then make an adjustment to your timeline. But be good to yourself. Do what works for you. If something isn't working, if it's causing you stress, anxiety, or if it's dampening your mood or your desire to do a certain thing, maybe it's not that you shouldn't do that thing. Maybe you should change how you do it because what you're doing right now isn't working for you. It's okay. It's okay to switch it up, but have a plan and have a purpose and do it with intention. And then avoid comparing yourself to others. Boy, when I tell you this is the woo, this is the nugget of information that you need to carry with you on a daily basis. Avoid comparing yourself to other people because that will just keep you down and negative. Because here's the first thing. Nobody has the same life path. Nobody. My sister and I always talk about how we came from the same recipe, the same mom and dad. We grew up in the same house. We have so many of the same shared experiences and shared memories. But not all of them are the same. Not all of them are shared because we're two different people. We are years apart. So there are experiences that I had that she would never have. And for the sheer fact that we are years apart, by the time she got to a certain level in school, things were different. She had a different experience than I had at that time. And because we went to college at different places at different times, we had different friend groups, just different church experiences, different relational experiences, different experiences with our parents. They made us two different people. Right? So while we can closely relate to our lifestyle, to the things that we value, we are not the same people. So if that's the same for siblings, what do you think it is for some stranger or someone on social media or some guru that you follow? They have insights that they can share and impart with you, but don't compare your journey with their journey. Don't compare your future existence with someone else's current existence. And don't compare your current self to somebody else's current self. You don't know what they went through. You don't know, what skills that they were born with or what skills they really had to work hard to develop. And those might be skills that come naturally for you. So you can't compare yourself to other people. And the other thing is, you don't know everything about the other person. They're not going to tell you everything. People are not forthcoming and honest about the bad parts of themselves in that way. So there you have it. Nuggets of sophisticated wisdom to nurture a positive mindset, guiding you towards achieving your aspirations and leading you to your best life, so that you can operate in positivity, so that you can become a future person who can do the things that you want to do. Remember, emotional intelligence, positive thinking isn't about ignoring life's challenges at all. It's embracing life's challenges. It's about confronting them with sophisticated optimism and the belief that you can overcome, that you can become the person who can go get over these emotional setbacks and triggers with planning by using emotional intelligence. I want to thank you for watching today and join us for our next video where we will delve deeper into a path of enlightenment, emotional empowerment, and sophistication, just the way you need it.